What is up, everyone? Hello and welcome to the Humble Game Stream. Hello. How is everyone doing today? Can you guys all see everything? Can you guys hear me? I have my mic. I put it really close to my face this time. What's up, guys? Welcome. Oop, I have my headphones now stuck. Wait, I got them unstuck. No, I didn't. Wait. You can't start a stream without an error. It's not allowed. Headphones. There we go. All right, what's up, guys? Hello, my name is Reagan Kathryn. For those of you guys who are new here, I am with Humble Bundle, and today we are going to be making a cosplay in honor of the return of the Cosplay Bundle, which is so exciting because obviously, if you guys are here, you are hopefully interested in cosplay. I certainly love cosplay. It's my favorite thing ever. So today I've decided that we are going to be making a wing. So as you can see right below me, this is what we are making today. I can't start a stream without Obi. So also just a really quick note, our AC went out. So we have no AC currently. So I have, like, if you guys hear a fan blowing on me, it's because it is, because it's so hot. The audio is clear, but volume's a little low. Let's just turn it up a little bit. Is that better? Turn it up some. Yeah, so it's so hot, but it's fine. Nothing gets in the way of cosplay. That's not how it works. Okay, I turned it up. I turned it up a little bit for you guys, so hopefully that helps. We'll just turn it all the way up. But yeah, okay. So we are going to start. So please feel free to ask me any questions as we are going, because again, this is going to just be kind of a fun cosplay stream to tell you guys about the Cosplay Bundle. If you guys are interested in cosplaying, this bundle is a really great way to start. There is a link in the chat. It's pinned on the YouTube chat. There's also a link in the description if you want to check it out. There's a ton of great books in this bundle that I actually got the bundle myself and have been using. So if there are patterns, there are so you can literally get patterns. They have ones on sewing, they have ones on foam, they have ones on hairstyling, which I am so bad at wig styling. But we're just gonna start with our stream. So what today we are making is this wing. So this wing is from Genshin Impact Dvalin. Oh yeah, I see Jolly Me already got it. It is Dvalin's wing. But we're gonna make it for doggo. We're making doggo wings, which is why they're kind of small. Yeah, so what we did is I started off with my pattern. So basically I did a little bit of prep beforehand, so that way you guys didn't have to watch the boring parts of the cosplay creation, because there is a lot. It takes a lot of time. So first I started off with a pattern. I just have this kind of brown paper. You can see on the back side I did another sketch. Are we just winging it? Yeah, a little bit. That's kind of how it works, right? So you can see I did this like back sketch and I didn't like it, so then I did another one, did it over here. This was the final pattern that I came to, and then I cut it out. And then I cut it out of my foam. So you can see, here's pattern, foam. You just see it on the wing. You just see, look, the wings are blowing. It's accurate to cosplay, right? Soaring through the sky. So, using foam. I am using 2mm foam, so it's really thin. And I'm using 2mm because it's going to have double layers on it, so it'll end up being around 4mm. And again, we're making this for a puppy, so we want it to be really light because we don't want to put anything heavy on a puppy. And so that's why they're puppy sized, so they're going to be the top one. And so I'm going to move, if anyone has questions about patterns, there is a whole book about how to pattern in this cosplay bundle that I'm just obsessed with. I just need you guys to know how obsessed and excited I am about this bundle. When we first heard about it, I was like, so we can do things for it, right? And the team is so nice to me and said yes. Thank you, Humble. Thank you, Humble Bundle, for having me for this cosplay bundle. Tell Humble thank you in the chat as well. But pattern, this is our first basic piece. So again, we're using 2mm foam, real thin, and you can see this is kind of what it looks like. So first you take your pattern, you put it on your things, and you just trace around it. And so we need 2 of them. So we're gonna do 2 of them. And you can cut it out with scissors or you can cut it out with your X-Acto knife. I'm going to use my X-Acto knife because on this one, as you can kind of see on it, I drew the little wing part. So this one we're going to cut out, and then we're going to cut all of this out. That means you guys get to see the model, we hope. Yes, not worry. I am not an evil person. We will show you the boy before the stream is over. Stick around in the stream so you can see the good boy. We'll give him I almost said the word. We'll give him a T-R-E-A-T. He can't spell yet, but he knows that word, man. All right. Also, tell me if I start leaning too far forward, because sometimes I'm blind and I want to get in real close to see what I'm doing. So just be like, Reagan. And with the foam, so you can see that I drew it with Sharpie, and it's pretty thick. So the main thing that you want to remember is that you want to cut inside of the Sharpie line. So you can have a little bit, but you want most of the Sharpie to not be in it, because when I first started cosplaying, I didn't know that, and I would cut it exactly out of the line or right on the outside of the line, and it may not look like a lot, but it is enough to mess up your pattern and make it not fit anymore. So cutting on the very inside of the line, and if you mess it up a little bit, that's not a big deal because it's foam and you can Dremel it and we can cut it after. It's always better to cut something too big than too small, because if you cut it too small, you can't add posture check. I know, really. Posture check. This is literally a whole posture check stream. But as I was saying, you can't put back, but you can take off. I mean, I guess technically you can put back, but it's harder. Technically, you can do whatever you want. The rules are just loose. The rules are more like suggestions. Then we're just gonna throw these over here. Happy little accidents. Exactly. The rules they're just suggestions. There's only certain rules that are really important, and I'll tell you which one those are, but cutting is not one. Because as all of my cosplay friends can attest, I cut like a second grader. And they're always like, oh my gosh, no, Reagan, it can't be that bad. And then they see me cut something and they're like, oh, never mind. It is that bad. And I'm like, oh no. Look at it, it's beautiful. I'm using my X-Acto knife and I'm going kind of slow. But I do want to like kind of go kind of fast because I want to show you guys a lot of how to make it. And again, if you guys have any questions about cosplay in general, about making costumes, about just anything that you want to know, please ask in the chat. It does not have to pertain to what I'm making right now, or it can. If I skip over something and you're like, but how do you do that? Let me know. Also something to note is this, I just changed this blade. One time I made Linux, who's in the chat, cut out an entire thing with a dull blade. And she got to the end, she was like, oh my gosh, this blade stinks. And I was like, I have extras. I got more. This isn't the only one. So you should definitely change your blades out often because they get dull real fast, and then it makes it much harder. Yeah, good to know. You can ask any questions about cosplay. Unless it's about wig styling, you can ask, but I may not know. Wig styling, I will refer you to a book. I know the basics, but like in practice, can't do it. Wig styling is the worst. Gets all over you too. I have enough hair that gets everywhere. Her response was, why didn't you tell me earlier? She didn't ask. I was just talking about this morning. I'm not a mind reader. I'm a cosplayer. Different things. Different things. Okay. Just cutting this out. Trying not to bend over. Oh, wait. Did I do that? I already did that one. Yeah, we have. If chat, if you guys know answers, if you have questions, put them in the chat. We can answer. You think you get hair and then you get wig hair and it's just back to square zero? Dude, I have to keep lip rollers in every single room because Obi loves to help me make cosplay. He is the biggest cosplay helper. I don't know which one this is. We're gonna do this one. And he wants to help me constantly, and I'm like, buddy, I need you to get off this fabric. And he's like, no, I'm helping. And I'm like, no, you're really not. And he's like, I'm helping. So I have to I already have OB hair over everything. All right, now I'm just going in and I'm gonna cut out the design. So on one, I'm gonna cut out the design, and on the other one, I'm not. Because this is gonna get glued onto the top. What's my favorite part about making a cosplay? Painting. Because that means I'm almost done. I love starting a costume, and then I love finishing a costume. Those are the two best parts. The in-between part is sometimes the worst, but it's necessary. But I really love painting. I think I excel. You're wigging out. Also, sometimes whenever I'm making something, I'll get to a point and I'm like, this isn't, how many X-Acto blades do I go through? So many. I really should just buy stock in X-Acto blades. Yeah, I feel like whenever I'll get to like the middle of a costume and I'm like, I want it to be done. Because I'm just excited. I'm excited to wear it. And also sometimes when you're doing foam, like you construct it all, you get it all ready, and then you're like, it doesn't look like a thing. Oh my gosh, it doesn't look like a thing. And then I paint it and I'm like, okay, it looks like a thing. We're fine. We're fine. It looks like the thing. So never panic. Or be like me and panic first. I guess either one's acceptable. But like, don't panic until the end. Everything can be fixed with paint. Or dremeling. Foam is very forgiving. It is a great medium to start out with. What is my favorite crafting tool? Oh, that's a really good one. I gotta think. That's like, I've never been asked that before. Okay. I really like my Dremel. It's a rotary tool, and I swear I couldn't cosplay anything that has any armor or any foam without it. It is, especially because I'm not great at cutting. If I mess up or when I'm gluing things together, it fixes everything. It's amazing. And one time when so the first foam thing I ever made were mini Mercy Wings. So from Overwatch, I made mini Mercy Wings out of just normal craft foam and had no idea what I was doing. Literally no idea. And so I glued them all out. I cut them all out and then glued the pieces together, and then realized that they didn't match up, and I did not know how to get them to match up. So, oh, sorry, I'm putting some cute music. I didn't know how to get them to match up. I just had like a bunch of different layers at the top of this wing, and one of my friends at the time, who also didn't cosplay, he was like, I think you're supposed to sand it, and so gave me sandpaper. It was like, just sand the foam down. Let me tell you right now, that's not how you can do it. You can't just hand sand that down. You need something with a little more power, or else you'll sit there for 200 years, and I'm not exaggerating. All right. I'm just also trying to be really careful that I don't cut out the wrong part. Gave me sandpaper, and I was trying to do it with sandpaper. That's not, sandpaper is for after you have primed something and you need to get like a little bit of like a divot out or do a seam. You bet Barge is the close second? Yeah, that's also true. Barge is amazing. We have some right here. That's our next step. I know, sandpaper. Obviously that didn't work. So I think what I actually ended up doing, because again, I still didn't know, and this is why cosplay has no rules. There's no right or wrong way to do things. It's just you do it. And there's so many different ways to do it. So for what I ended up doing was, it was so many divots, but luckily the front side and the back side were the tallest ones. So I filled it with hot glue. Filled it with hot glue, then used my finger to go over and smooth it, and then used paper clay on top of it so that it all worked together. And yeah, so that's kind of how that worked. All right. And while that is not the way that I would do it if I were to do it again, it worked. Okay, I already cut this part out. I don't know, go over it again. All right, we're getting somewhere. Look at that. That's a thing. That's a thing. So we're just gonna keep cutting out these little pieces. I'm also trying to keep an eye out on time. Trying to be a little speedy. Let's see, what other essentials are there? What is the thing? We're making a wing. We're going to be making some wings. Because that's fun, right? Okay, what did I do here? Look at this. That's not a thing. Oh, okay. I think we can just go like this. We'll just fill it in. It's fine. We haven't cut it out yet, so there's no problem. And I'll fix it like that. There we go. We're gonna do it like that. Are we doing both wings? Yeah, we're gonna have double wings. And again, we're making wings for a doggo. We're doing pet cosplay. Because who doesn't like doggos, right? Is Floof nearby? He is nearby. If you stick around at the end of the stream, we're gonna give him a TREAT. Also, tell Humble Bundle thank you so much for doing this stream. It's so fun. They have a full book bundle called Return of the Cosplay Bundle. There's so many good books. If you want to get into cosplay or if you've always been interested in it, this is the perfect time. The perfect time to figure it out. Or to kind of jump in. Whoops, sorry, let's hit it. A what? So getting started with making wings like these, you would need the bundle, barge, X-Acto, a Dremel, foam. You think, would you need something more? A heat gun. A heat gun. Heat guns are so great. So with foam is really porous. So if you try to just paint on top of foam, it's just gonna absorb it. So what we do is, and we'll get, I guess we're jumping ahead now. Oh, I get too excited is my problem. So we will get the foam, we'll cut it all out, we'll glue it together, we'll Dremel it, and then before we go to the painting portion, we heat it. I probably won't show you guys that on stream because it's too hot. But that kind of makes it a little bit less porous, and it makes your paint and your Plastidip stick better. Try to make Mabby wings. Look, I believe that everyone should make some wings. Wings are so great, and we should all have them. A heat gun or a torch? Not a torch. Oh my gosh, not a torch. I wonder if a blow dryer could work. Potentially. Probably not. It doesn't get that hot. Heat guns get hot. Let me tell you, as a person who has accidentally came and put their finger on it. Yep. Oh wait, here we go. This one gets cut off. I'm trying to remember what I'm doing. You'll only take wings if they're infernal wings. Okay, wait, this gets cut and then it goes like that. So you come off. All right, we're moving. What's up, Tetris? Welcome. All right, we're getting somewhere, guys. There's so many little parts. All right. Bat wings look really cool. That's true. No, they're not expensive. Also, there are books in the bundle that go over all of the basics, which is what I really like, because again, there's so many different ways to do things. There's no right or wrong way, well, unless you're using like glue. There is right ways to use glue. I also have stories about that. But it's so nice because like sometimes it can be so overwhelming on like, how do I start this? If you look at this wing, sometimes whenever I'm starting a project, I get so like just kind of like overwhelming myself, where I'm like, I can't do this. This is so hard. There's so many parts. I don't even know where to start. And sometimes having those resources like kind of calms me down. You know what I mean? It makes me feel like, okay, no, it's fine. Someone has done it before. I can do this. There are tips. If I get stuck on something, I can check and be like, how did someone else do this? You can do it the exact same way, or you can modify it. Right. Now we just have these little circles left to cut out, and then we're going to glue it together. All right, circly buddy. Yeah, my whole life is just getting injured doing cosplay. I have so I have 2 scars, and one of them is from cosplay. From making wings, actually, from making a different pair of wings. I was using sheet metal. You gotta be real careful with sheet metal. Sheet metal will trip you up, man. I am making wings. So I'm making Dvalin's wings from Genshin Impact. So you can see it right below me. That's what we're making. All the cutting is something that you can't do. Dude, there's so much cutting. You can also do like me, where I outsource my cutting to Linux. Outsourcing is fine. Okay. Get these little ones. These little ones are not, they don't want to cut out. Need good gloves and eyewear with metal? Yeah, I don't work with metal anymore. Sometimes people will be like, why didn't you use the actual medium? And I'm like, because I'm going to injure myself. I could make it with foam and potentially not injure myself. All right. I'm trying to stay uninjured if possible. Yeah. Also, foam is cheap. Foam is so cheap, and cosplay can get really expensive. Foam is super cheap. It's easy to work with. It's so correctable. One of my favorite mediums. My favorite thing to do is sew, but sewing is not interesting to watch because you can't really see what's happening. Can't see what's happening. All right. One last thing. We got one last little circle to cut out to cupboard cosplays. Dude, that's a great way to cosplay. There's no right or wrong way to cosplay. You can just like wear the same colors, like a bound. If you're like, I'm wearing a purple top and green shorts and my hair is red, I'm Ariel. That works for me. It's just fun. You're impressed with my foam cutting? You would be shaking like crazy? Again, it's foam. So if you mess up, it's fine. It's totally fine. You can fix it. All right, so now we have it cut out. So we have our thing cut out. Here is our other wing. We're going to then place them on top of each other like this because they're gonna get glued together, and this is how we're gonna do all of the cool veins in it. So now the important thing with this is that we just want to kind of make sure that it all matches up when we're tracing, because we have to trace where all of our veins go. So that's fine. We got our pencil. So I'm gonna just trace where all of my cuts are so that I know where to glue and where not to glue. Yeah, I have masks that I wear when I Dremel, because also you don't want to inhale it, and you don't want it to, doesn't taste good. Like, the main thing is it tastes pretty bad. Not yummy. All right, let's just make sure that lines up there. Trace, trace, trace. All right. Noted, not yummy. It's not. Sand is not good. Also, it gets everywhere, man. Okay. We're getting there. And some of these are really thin. So you want to try and make it as accurate as possible. But it's hard. Again, I am the queen of, you make something because it's fun and you enjoy it. Perfection is not needed. Perfection is a myth that people tell themselves. Nothing needs to be perfect, it just needs to be done. Okay, I think I need to move that back. Okay, 1 second. Let's just get these last little traces. And so I like to keep a photo of whatever it is up on my screen, so that way I can just keep looking back at my reference and make sure that I'm doing it right. Another really hard thing is taking things that were like drawn in a game and then turning it into real life. All right. Okay, I think that we got them all. All right, so now you can see all drawn out. Here's our little pattern. This is just going to be our glue indicator. You can see I messed up in some places. It's okay. It's fine. We just will glue around in there. So I'm gonna set this here. This is the direction that we want it. Gonna look, okay, so it's gonna be this direction. So it means I need to glue this side. I can't tell you how many times I've done it the wrong way. So many times, and I'm like, oh no. Okay. Paint fixes all, not if you glue it the wrong direction. If you glue it the wrong direction, paint cannot fix it. But it's fine. So I'm using contact cement. You can get it everywhere. And so I'm just gonna start with one side. And you wanna put a pretty thin layer everywhere on this. Am I left-handed? I'm not, I'm right-handed. I have my camera flipped. My camera is flipped, because if not, you guys would be looking at it upside down. And I wanted you to be able to see the wings right side up. Okay, just get it everywhere. Oh yeah, our apartment is a sauna today. No AC. I'm just gonna make sure, just got a thin layer of glue everywhere. Paint, 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 paint. You always forget the cameras flip. Dude, I know. That's like also the worst when you have a character that like, get off of my finger. Ah, stuck to me. It's the worst when you have a character like a Todoroki where they have like half of their hair, because then if I take a selfie or anything that's mirrored, and then the internet's like, but why, it's on the wrong side. I'm like, it's just flipped. The photo is just flipped. It's mirrored. I didn't do it wrong. The one time my friend spent 2 hours at a convention putting on her Todoroki makeup, only to realize that she put it on the wrong side and had to completely restart over. Because she forgot that the mirror is mirrored. "42 degrees Celsius? I'm sorry, what? Is that allowed? Is that heat even allowed? That shouldn't be legal. Go back. Tell the AC not legal. Also, if you guys are here, please make sure you click the link up above. It's in the comment. It's in the description. It is for the Humble Bundle Cosplay Bundle. You only have a limited time to be able to get it. And again, there's some super awesome books in the bundle. That I personally got the bundle. I love it. I have been using the pattern ones. So Kamui has a pattern one in there. And I'm really excited about the Cow Butt Crunchy wig styling book because I'm so bad at it. So maybe I'll be good at it. Maybe I can read it and level up my skill. But make sure to click the link, especially if you're interested in cosplaying at all. You get such a great value for them. You send the link to another cosplayer you follow? Heck yeah! Share the link with your cosplay friends. Sharing resources is caring. And all these cosplayers, I know a lot of them too who are in there, they put so much time and work into them, and they're such good books. Okay, so now we have this part glued. So I'm gonna move it. I'm gonna move it back there. And then we're gonna start gluing this part. So I started with the thick side for my barge on this, so I'm gonna start with my thick side on my barge on this side. I'm gonna double barge it. So. And we're going to do everywhere that they're going to connect. And you want to try not to get it in any of the spots that are going to be open. Try being the operative word. I am not always good at that because it takes some preciseness. And again, you want to keep it fully covered but pretty thin. Fully covered but pretty thin. If a little bit gets in your circles, again, not the end of the world. Nothing is the end of the world. You can fix everything. I am like the queen of, it's fine. It's fine. Cosplay should be fun. I make everyone I know get into cosplay. I make my dad help me. I make my mom help me. Everyone helps. It is like now a family activity. Close enough. The phone books are pretty dope. Also, I love anything. If it has a pattern, oh my gosh, pattern, it being something takes the longest for me. So if someone has already done the pattern and wants to share and I just have to tweak their pattern, it saves me so much time. Because also like patterning and fitting something is like one of the most important steps. And this is pretty difficult to do. Just getting in between. Right. And I do have a fan on, which is gonna make this barge dry faster than it normally would, so I'm trying to be a little bit speedy. Because you want the barge to be pretty tacky, but not completely dry. Not still wet. Wet barge won't stick together. Tacky barge. Just like the perfect amount. when I first started, I thought that barge was like normal glue, or contact cement was like normal glue. Pro tip, it's not. You have to put it on both sides of whatever you're making. This was a tip I learned from Linux. Put it on both sides of whatever you're making, let it dry a little bit, and then stick them together. And the contact cement will hold them together. And whoa, words. Also, when you contact cement something together, you are more likely to rip the foam beside it than your like seam. So you know how sometimes when you glue something together, it like weakens it because there's a seam in it? Contact cement is great. It's like, no, we got you. Don't worry about it, especially when you're gluing foam. There are things that contact cement doesn't like. Insulation foam, don't use it on that. Yeah, it sticks to itself. It likes itself. So like if I just put it on one side and then tried to stick it together, eventually it would, but it's not gonna be as strong of a hold and it's not gonna work as well. All right, so now I've got everything kind of sticky together. I'm gonna set it in front of this fan for a second, just to let it, so we want it to be kind of tacky. Again, not wet. And again, I have a fan. Normally it would take longer. And then this is the important part. The second that it sticks to it, it's not coming off. So you gotta be real careful. So once I stick it down, that's where it is. So if I mess up sticking it, too bad, so sad, game over. Which is why I'm kind of holding it back like this. And I like to just try and go and get the edges to match. Oh, see, it's starting to stick there. Because as long as the edges mostly match, then we're good. Then we're doing good. And it's okay if it doesn't match exactly. Again, the next step is dremeling. I'm gonna go and put that there. Oh, I didn't draw that part. I'm focusing. Okay. Oops, see, I got it stuck a little bit weird there, but it's fine. Everything's fine, it's on purpose. Alrighty. And then just want to make sure that it's not pulling anywhere. Have fun at work. Then we're gonna do it together. All right, foam wing base done. Here is the base of the wing. You can see we have cut it out, glued it together. We are cooking with fire. So next what you would do is you would Dremel along the outside. So as you can see, there are some parts, they don't line up all the way. Which again, like I told you, totally fine. You just Dremel it smooth. Dremel that all smooth so that all of the edges are matching. Then you heat it and then you filler primer it and then you plasti dip it. So what I did was I did it already on one. So this is like a cooking show. So you can see we're cooking showing it. So this is what it looks like once it's been Dremeled and then filler primered and then plasti dipped. So you can see the edges match. There's no overlapping edges. Looks real nice. And yeah, so now once you've plasti dipped it, and again you want to filler primer and then plasti dip it. Plasti dip likes to be heated up. So a lot of the times is I will boil or turn my water to hot, put that in the thing, and then run my plasti dip under it to warm up my plasti dip and then shake it a lot. And then spray it because it's plastic. But it will make it to where you have this really nice top coat, and then when we're painting, it won't mess it up. All right, so now we're gonna start painting it. We're cooking showing this. I thought that that would be better. So I have my little paint wheel. And the first thing is, so what you can do is after you plasti dip it, you can spray paint it a base color, but I didn't have blue. So we're not going to. We're gonna hand paint it. But I have this light color blue. And I like to start with the lightest color first, because that makes it easier. Lightest color first. I'm just gonna paint everything the light color. And painting is super fun, but it does sometimes take a really long time. And so we're just gonna paint everywhere light blue. Paint, 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 paint. Because painting is basically like, how many layers of something can we do? 1,000,000 layers? Yeah? Cool. And again, I just picked the lightest color. Thanks for joining, Tetris. Make sure that you guys click the bundle. You did hear me say earlier that these wings are for a doggo. These are going to be doggo wings, which is why they're small, and we're making them light. So once they're all being done painted, I'm going to put wire to connect them in between, and then it's going to clip into a harness, so like a little dog harness that you would take them on walks. So that way they're extra light, they won't bother them. We're not putting our dogs through the cosplay torture that we put ourselves through. But it's going to be doggo wings to match a venti cosplay. Dude, floofs love to fly. Just painting the outside. Floof will fly. Yep. Obi is great, and he does let me put him in all the costumes. And he's like, alright, I guess this is what we're doing. And then I just die because he's so cute. You can see with this, I'm not particularly being careful. I'm just trying to get a base layer on. You would be more careful when we get to the darker parts. This one, just everything needs to be light blue. Paint, 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 paint. But again, this is my favorite part. It does take a really long time. So I always think that painting's gonna take less time than it does. But it takes so long. It always takes pretty much double the, I'm pretty good at estimating how long something's gonna take too. But it always takes double the amount of time that I think. Because you have to do a base paint coat, and then you go in and you paint your alternating colors. So then after this, we would go in and we're going to paint the dark blue that's all of the veins. And then after that, you got to go paint in your colors to give it depth. So we'll paint in different shades of blue. So it won't just be a flat blue. The more kind of differentiating shades you can put in something, I think the better it'll look. And I think that there's also a difference between painting something for photos versus painting something for real life, because the camera doesn't pick up everything. Okay, so we got base paint done. Now we're gonna go back in. We're gonna get a different blue. All right, we have Prussian blue. We have, I like this one. Probably gonna use them all, but I'm gonna use this color blue next, which is much darker. And also the good thing about paint is that you can do a bunch of different, if you don't have a paint that's like the exact right shade, you can make a bunch of them. So I spend so much time putting black and white into my paints. All right, so we started over here. We're just gonna go, and this one we want to be more careful, like not how I was just then, because we only want to get it on the top layer of the foam. dog costumes are kind of hard to wear. I know. The blue is so aesthetic. I am a big fan. And man, just like painting, it takes so long. It's just like layers upon layers upon layers upon layers. You just paint forever. Like, we're probably not even going to get to finish painting because it takes so long. But you'll see, like, mostly. And then I'll post a photo on Twitter once it's done. But I hope that this has answered some of your guys' questions and you're excited to cosplay. Yes, this is acrylic paint. So I am using, this is golden paint. That's what I like. Just acrylic paint. I find that with golden, it has a better pigment for me. You can use any type of paint. So paints either just have really dark pigments or not. And there's good reasons to use both different times. So for this, since I want it to have a full coverage, I like my darker pigments or my ones that have super solid pigments, because then I don't have to do as many coats. So it'll cover it all much faster. So for this one, I'll probably only have to do 2 coats of blue instead of like 5 with like a more watery acrylic paint. But for like the inners of the wings where it looks kind of like ombre-y, that like a lighter watery acrylic paint will probably be much better, because then it won't be as dark. And then I'm just trying to go along these edges. And again, if you mess up, it's just paint. You can paint over paint. But it's easier if you don't. Your blue dabu dee dabu die. Accurate. You're making your shopping list to start with foam props? Heck yeah! They're so great. They're so much fun. It's also so relaxing. Like, this is just my favorite thing to do. And I love how you can get foam to look like anything. You can make it look like metal. You don't actually have to use metal. You can make it look this like weird transparent-y stuff. This is great. Such a good medium, and especially a good one if you're a beginner. So foam is great for beginners and experts alike. And it's just craft foam. So like if you go to like any craft store and you buy literally a pack of craft foam that comes in like all different colors, that's what this is. So it's not even like you have to like special order it somewhere. Super accessible. Okay. And you can see I'm getting some in there, which is not ideal, but it's not the end of the world. Because it's going to be painted on the inside too. This is just like the very basis ones. And also normally what you would want to do is do your base paint, let it dry completely, and then paint on another one, but we don't have time for that. We don't got time. We are impatient. We got places to be, wings to make, dogs to pet. This is why I say that there are rules, but they're more like suggestions. They're suggestions. Okay. Oh, as I just paint in the middle of that one. am also the queen of whenever I paint something, I then like to use my fingers a lot. So I have really nice brushes, but then when I get into like shading, I use my fingers and I get paint everywhere. I'll just walk out and I'll be covered in paint. And Roger's like, what did you do? And I'm like, was painting. You gotta get in there sometimes. You're never too old to finger paint. What's up, Tristan? You love acrylic paint? Me too. I also really am a fan of spray paint. I typically love spray painting a base color on because it saves you some time. But sometimes they don't have the right color. Like this was kind of a weird blue. But like for anything that's like silver or metallic. Yeah, rag is also good for shading, but I like my fingers. I like to get all in there. Adults would be happier if we could still finger paint. See, look, but you can. You can. It's just like a little dose of serotonin. Oops. Oops. Sponges are also good. There's, again, no wrong way. Only preferred ways. No wrong way. Okay. And also sometimes like a way will work better on a certain project than another. So sometimes you could have done the one way that's worked every single time, and then on this one project it's like, no, pay me a different way. And you're like, oh, but why? But why? Also, I think the biggest thing that surprised my dad is like, but that's not how this would be made. And I'm like, I know. But this is how I'm gonna make it. Like one time I was making Nami's Climate Act from One Piece. And I was like, Dad, I'm gonna use doorknobs at the end. He was like, no, you shouldn't use a doorknob. And I was like, I'm gonna use doorknobs because it's like the perfect shape. He was like, no, doorknobs are for doors. And I was like, and also for climate acts. And he was like, no, you should get these like little foam bouncing balls. And I was like, okay, we're gonna get both. We're gonna get both, see what works better. Spoiler alert, the door handle worked better. Doorknob was the winner. So it's just like also whenever I'm drawing circles, I just walk around the house until I find something that is circular and the right size. And that annoys my dad to no end. He's like, I'll get you a protractor. And I'm like, don't want a protractor. Want to just find different things that are circular in nature. He's like, but it'd be so much easier with a protractor. And I'm like, but I could get this glass. So I'm like, this is a circle. There's two different sizes of circles on this one. You got a small circle and a big circle. Small circle, big circle. So many circles. I also start to see circles in everyday life. I'm just like, and I'll just like be putting things through and I'm like, ooh, I'm going to remember that for whenever I need this size circle. And to this day, my dad's like, but what if you just got a protractor? And I'm like, no. I'm trying to think what the weirdest thing I have made like a prop out of. Okay, I think that when I was first starting out and I didn't know how to use foam, my first prop ever was a Harley Quinn hammer that it was around Halloween, and I wanted to make a really big Harley Quinn hammer. It would have been much easier to make this out of foam. It would have been super easy to do that, but I didn't know how to do that. So I got those really big Halloween pumpkins, like the big ones that you put outside of your house, like not like the little ones that you walk around with to collect candy in, but the ones that you put outside your house if you don't want children knocking on your door. Got 2 of those, duct taped them together with a broom on the insides. No, a mop. It was a mop. I put the mop head in between the two ones and then duct taped it all together. And then I got bubble wrap. Bubble wrapped the whole thing so that it was kind of smooth, and then put cut out 2 circles of not, what is it called, cardboard. Cut out 2 cardboard circles, hot glued it to the ends, and then covered it all with fabric. It was so heavy. Would not recommend. But that's how I started. I was like, we're just gonna use weird things. Wouldn't recommend doing it that way, but I made it work. And it was a total mop and pumpkin hammer. I thought it looked pretty good. So you can see that sometimes it's just, I don't know, make it. And was it the best way to make something? No. But did it work? It did. It did work. You think you'll, yep. If you want to skip having all of that trouble like I did in buying and spending way too much money on popcorn, because those things are not cheap, man. Not cheap. You can just use the books in the bundle. Save yourself a lot of heartache. And make a prop that you can move and you don't have to leave in Louisiana because it's too big. And heavy. So yeah. Buy the books. What a good transition there. Pax is like, nope. Books. We'll purchase. You can yeah, with the bundles you can skip the mistakes that we made in the beginning. Wouldn't that be ideal? Just, I started at level 1 and you can start at level 10. You're gonna get up to a level 100 much faster. Easy mode. Or at least not extremely difficult mode. Alright. We're almost done with the first layer. Alright. Let's see, let's get in there. Yeah, using foam to make that hammer would have been so much cheaper. So much cheaper. And lighter. And just better. But I didn't know. I didn't have this cosplay book bundle. But you guys do. Click the link in the description. To see it. Whoops, I just painted right inside there. No worries. I did that on purpose. That was on purpose. Was not a mistake. It's fine. Then we're gonna go back in. Get that. All right, I think that it's looking pretty good though. I mean, for an hour, this is like some great progress. We cut out a full wing. We started with just foam. So we started with this, we got it to this, and then this is how it looks with the first base paint on it. Again, there's probably like 10 more coats of paints that it needs, but you can see that it's starting to turn into the thing. It looks much more like a thing than this did. And this looks much more like a thing than just like this side did. So we're slowly getting there. And then what we'll do is we're gonna put wire in between so that it'll attach to a harness and it'll be super cute. Now let's see. You gotta see it. Hey buddy. Before we go, let's see, are they dog sized? Well, this is the wrong side, dog. Are they doggo sized? He's gonna be so cute. Look at him. So cute. Yeah. All right, then we will give our helper a treat. We'll give our helper a treat since we did make this costume for him. Everyone say hello. We achieved things. Thank you again so much for coming to the stream and checking it out. Make sure you check out the bundle. Click the link in the description. Click the link in the chat. It's pinned to the chat. You can do both. Do it. The floof demands it of you. He looks so cute. He is so excited that you guys came here. He is my little cosplay helper buddy. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Please tell Humble thank you if you did and leave a comment. Also, if you have not, please go check out the video that we did on the Cosplay Bundle. Let me actually see if I can grab you the link really quick for the video that we did. Let's see. Check out this video that we did for the Cosplay Bundle if you want to see more tips and tricks. More tips and tricks. This. I put it in the chat. Check out that link if you want to see more tips and tricks, more things about the Cosplay Bundle, and a full cosplay that I made for the Cosplay Bundle. Obi helped me, so we definitely want you to. We're going to give him one more treat because he's a good boy. And again, thank you so much for being here. Check out the Cosplay Bundle. And until next time, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.